welcome to Reynolds Razorback Stadium, where they have been calling the Hogs since early in the morning in anticipation of this showdown we have coming. And while today is the final home game of the season for one team, it is more importantly a celebration, Senior Day. LSU will put a foot to it for the opening kickoff. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. The Razorbacks return man hardly helped out the offense with that one. There are always butterflies to start a game, and when you have a rivalry like this, the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive, guys.
They aren't all the same. We say that, but we know differently. The blood is boiling. The temperature is hot. Jesse, you want this week more than most.
Yeah, David, we've played in these games before. Everything just seems to be heightened, right? The game seems to be moving faster. The crowd noise feels louder. Your composure will be tested early in a game like this.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
Man, you talk all week about setting the tone, quieting this crowd. Don't let him get involved. You know how you do that? Get a sack and force a punt on the first possession of the football game. That's a heck of a start for this defense.
He'll bring it back. It's Turner. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. The LSU Tigers offense will get the ball for the first time. You know, yards figure to be hard to come by through the air, but some quarterbacks, Jesse, just love to go at the star corner.
Yeah, and this guy's got confidence. He's not afraid to go at anybody, but he better be careful because this cornerback is one of the best in the nation.
One of the best, no doubt. I think they will trust him on defense to make plays. So you got to make a decision. Is my guy good enough to beat him on the outside? I am fascinated by this matchup.
Guys, this rough start is hardly what they had in mind to start SEC play, and it's not going to get any easier.
Well, no doubt about it. There were big expectations surrounding this program inside SEC play this year, and things haven't necessarily gone their way. They've had to fight a ton of adversity, but, David, they believe they have the leadership in the locker room to turn it around, but it's got to start today.
Yeah, one at a time. Like, we got to start today. We got to find something. We got to find what we're really good at, what we can hang our hat on so we can start to build some momentum throughout the season. Obviously, not the start we wanted, but we got to point to the next opportunity.
That's a really nice job hauling that pass in, and you think LSU has just been such a breeding ground in recent years for receivers. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, they all have the ability to make a play anywhere on the field, and that's what this guy can do. You can line him up anywhere. He can run routes at all three levels of the secondary. The defense has to know where he is lined up every single play.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. I got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the...
And he will take it in. Touchdown, LSU.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm. Got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put put something together here.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive, so they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up front of protecting this guy, or it's going to be difficult to put up points.
Last time these two got together, it was a tight one, Jesse.
It seems like every time these two teams play, the game just feels faster, right? Because it is a rivalry game. There's just a greater sense of urgency when we see these teams match up.
Yeah, the fans feel it. They know it. There's so much to it. They think about it all year long. We can talk about the next game on the schedule. They're always looking forward to this one.
Another incompletion on third down.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
He'll bring it back. It's Turner. Slips through the line. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. And I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know.
And it's caught at the 10. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. Kickoff team lining up to send this one away. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. How about that Bayou Bengal defensive front showing some dominance? Booger McFarland, Marcus Spears like in their pressure.
And that defensive line getting to the quarterback, and they got so many guys that we could name like Spears that you just mentioned, like Booger in the past that put on that purple and gold, look good, big physical guys that fill out them uniforms and eat quarterbacks.
Fourth down, and the punt team sends it the other way. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on him. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, move the ball.
He's loose. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. Just got to get him to the ground quickly.
After ripping off a huge chunk of yardage, now they've got it 1st and 10 from the 13. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. That's not the way you'd like to start this set of downs. It's now 1st and 20. Just going to keep it after the snap. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
You know, you talk so much about QBs, right? Having to make really good decisions. There's a great example. He didn't see anybody open downfield. He didn't hesitate for 1 second. He put his hand down, and he took off and went running and generated an explosive play for the offense.
Defense were always trying to get some tips. You know, break on the football, get a tip, get it up in the air. Nice job by the player breaking the football and forcing the incompletion.
It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage, so everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
And they'll have to settle for a field goal try. No good. Missed the field goal, but still a 2-touchdown lead at 14. Line gets set, 1st down. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
2nd down coming up.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. The run to the left. And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. Guys, LSU has the lead here. They came out and jumped on them early in the 1st. Let's take a break and look at the 1st quarter stats. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the 2nd. They've changed ends of the field, now facing 3rd down as they go back to work. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down.
And offensively, we know it's hard throwing the ball in 3rd and long situations because the defense can play big zone coverages. They got a lot of guys with their eyes on you, so the QB had no shot there. Nobody open. Nice job not forcing it, not risking a turnover, just throwing it away.
He gets a block. A huge return there. Steps out of bounds, but man, did he put his team in great position. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They wanted to set the tone, strike quickly. Jesse, they've done exactly that, up 2 touchdowns.
And this quarterback has been dialed in, too. He's been so good reading coverage, going to where the open guy is with the football. They've been up and down the field with it so far.
And this defense needs to make something happen right now. I mean, you've already given up a couple touchdowns. Your offense has got nothing going. Still early in the game. Get a stop. Create some momentum.
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
This is a good sign for this defense. The rate they were going, not touching the quarterback, him already having 2 touchdown passes in the 1st half, this was not going to be a fun football game to watch. Now now they're turning the tide a little bit.
And this defense has maxed out this pressure. Another sack.
You want to change some of this bad luck you've had so far around? Get after the quarterback and get his butt on the ground. Nice job by the defense. This game ain't over. It's still the first half. This is a good start.
On fourth down, looking for the completion. A shot toward the end zone. Downfield and incomplete. The defense holds.
Great coverage on that fourth down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Getting some heat. Trying to buy a little time, and he cannot, but he does get it back closer to the line of scrimmage. And no shortage of the big boys coming out of Baton Rouge as LSU's defense in the backfield again.
Yeah, you talk about tall, long, athletic, guys that get after the quarterback, LSU, they typically have a lot of those guys. That's a really fun thing to have when you're a defensive coordinator.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Get it out on the screen. Defense was not fooled by that screen to the back, and they'll stop him short of the marker. It'll be fourth down. And the Razorbacks will send out the punt unit. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. No return possible on this one. It goes out of bounds, and they'll mark it right around the 30-yard line. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on fourth down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but, Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Offense set on first down. Using his legs, it's Lang. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. So first down didn't exactly go according to plan. Let's see what they can dial up on second down.
Reese, I got him right where I want. Okay, I'm going to throw the football. Now I can get back in shotgun. Let's forget the running game stuff. We'll play a little pitch and catch and see how good that secondary is.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. Even with minimal gain on the return, they are working with a short field from the 36.
Really tough on an offense. 3rd and long. It's tough to know you're passing the football. They know you're passing the football. I'm going to rush the passer. I'm going to drop back deep, make you throw the ball underneath. But, you know, quarterbacks also...
What a snag by the defense. Got room on the return. He's inside the 40, running inside the 20, and he's going to take it all the way back. Touchdown, Tigers! They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Michigan State has the lead right now. Feels like it's been that way since Sparty's run out, but this has been a nip-and-tuck affair inside Spartan Stadium. They're up by 4 over Minnesota. We'll circle back if anything changes in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Oh, the fumble, and the defense got it. Touchdown, Tigers. And the defense doing work.
And the defense comes with the blitz. Nice job getting to the quarterback. And don't just get there. Try to strip that football out. They get the QB to the ground. The ball's out. They scoop it up, take it all the way back to the house for 6.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. That is a defensive player's dream. Ball sitting there, chance to scoop it up, run with it, and they don't stop you until the band starts playing. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. This thing has sort of gotten away the last couple of possessions. They've been a little too generous, David.
Yeah, like a non-profit, man, like a charity, giving the football away too much. Got to take care of the football, Jesse. Otherwise, you got no shot to win this football game.
You're right, man. At this level of college football, it doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're sloppy and you put the football on the ground or you throw picks, you're going to find yourself behind on the scoreboard.
The give to the back. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. It's third down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this thing has been one-sided, and they hope to at least have something to feel good about going into halftime. They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. Oh, picked off. He goes down right there, but not before coming up with a big interception.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down, to go out and refocus this drive.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him. Maybe get the ground game going, help him.
And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
This defense needed something to go right, man. They're down big already in the first half. Get to the quarterback, get him on the ground. This could start some momentum going back the other direction.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you get the pass rush going, everybody in the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
They were unfazed by that earlier 4th down failure and will try for a 2nd time in this one. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. The completion well past the sticks. That's where they'll mark him down, but what a play there to pick up a 1st down.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the 1st down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it, and now a fresh set of downs.
Now from inside the red zone. Fires to the wideout. He's got it. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the 1st down.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now, having given up multiple first downs on this drive. Somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop it.
Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to reach.
And the D deny them on set. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. If these guys wanted to make a statement, the statement has been delivered.
It's your job to stop them. No, don't run the score up. Well, do something about it. The defense has to step up and make plays. Obviously, they're not willing to do that, so just keep running plays and keep scoring.
And he added the extra point. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
Open the drive with a chunk play out past the 40, and they are in business on first down. He's going to pass. He looks that one in nicely. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds.
And those slot receivers nowadays, they're little water breaks, man. You can play touch football in an elevator to lose to these guys because they're so quick and so dynamic. Get open and catch the football.
Got out of trouble and throws. He's got his man, makes the grab. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. The Razorbacks have it with a 1st and 10. Jackson will throw. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. On second down, looking to throw. They're trying to get to him. And he'll chuck it into the cheap seats there and save the down. Nobody getting open there.
And there's a great example of living to play another day. QB in the pocket, nobody open, throw it out of bounds.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And he is sacked as the defense adds a little emphasis to wrap up this first half. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Just enough time for one final play in this half.
3:25.
They're throwing for it on 4th down. Fires one high and deep. Incomplete. He took a shot on the final play of the quarter and couldn't quite find his man. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, what an environment there today. All the animosity and flat-out hatred that comes with a good old-fashioned rivalry game on display in that first half. And it'd be easy to say these two offenses are glad we've hit halftime based on their respective performances. It would also be accurate. Turnovers and sacks have told the story so far. And you gotta believe the play calling has been the issue, right? Time to shred those game plans and just get back to basics. That said, let's get back to the field and our guys in the booth to see who comes out on top of this rivalry contest.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Keeping it on the ground to open the second half. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent, of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
To the air on first down. Pocket starts to collapse. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
It doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
After the misfire, now on second down. Going with the ground game left. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
In halftime in this locker room, there's a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead, but you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here, and I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around.
Gives him the big stiff arm. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Well, the defense knew coming into this one, Reese, that this team was going to try to use their speed and take advantage of it, and they did right there. Nice gain on the run play to the right.
Found plenty of running room in that defense. They've got to find a way to get there and make the tackle in the open field.
Yeah, and they got to do a good job with their eyes, finding the football, and they've got to get a lot of bodies to this guy because he is fast.
He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
This offense is just so dynamic because they've got playmakers at all the skill positions, right? We just saw a big play in the running game. Now we see one in the passing game. There's not one dude that you can key on here if you're on defense to try and slow them down.
I think when you go through these progressions as a quarterback, you want to find the right guy to throw to, obviously. I didn't think he was the right guy. I didn't think he was really that open. And listen, he sailed and he overthrew it. But
touchdown LSU! And the punishment has been extended. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Michigan State is running away with things, and it's thanks in large part to an offense that's been firing on all cylinders. They're up by 15 over Minnesota. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected. Fellas?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Running back goes in motion. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Caught behind the line. It's Sampson. And the defense coming with bad intentions. They knock him down for a loss. Well, after not getting a thing done on first down, it's second and long from the 24. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. Still running at the 40. All kinds of running room. A giant chunk of yardage picked up there, and they're down to the 24.
Every time he touches the ball, you can feel the excitement from this home crowd because Palmer, he can go the distance with that game-breaking speed.
You're right, David. He's a special talent. I'll tell you, these fans, they come here to see this guy play because he has game-breaking speed. Stuff you can't coach. You saw it on that one.
And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. 8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with second and short. Jackson gonna throw it. Fires downfield. Snags it. They will score. Touchdown, Arkansas. Field shrinks. Tight end grows. Big targets, big results.
I've never heard it put that way, but you're dang right. That guy is so big. A lot of times you get a DB matched up on him. He can just post him up. A linebacker, he can run by him. So that's why these tight ends are so dangerous down here in this red zone.
On to attempt the try.
The kicker is on for the extra point.
Hit that one with some aggression for the point after. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it up with a 15-yard scoring toss. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive.
Set to kick this one away.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Looking to throw on second down. Setting up the screen. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Trying to get to him. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line. Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He just wanted to get it out of there from his end zone. Bringing it back, it's Turbin. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled and you realize what's going on, now I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
They've got to get the football to the 32 to pick up the first down. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Quarterback tried to scramble around for a while, but the defense able to bring him down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Razorbacks send out the punt unit. They're up to a half-dozen kicks today. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
No, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game, you're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
On the move. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. They're facing a 3rd down. He wants to throw it. Quickly to the tight end. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
One of the things I love about this defense, they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
Brought to the ground, but not before getting enough for the first down.
You know, college football is so much about emotion and momentum and trying to find parts of games where you can grab it. How about going for it on fourth down on your own end of the field early like that and coming away with the first? That's huge.
They make the stop, but barely, and they might need to regroup as we have come to the end of the third quarter. Guys, LSU has the lead here. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
This offense has a lot. Can attack you, and you're going to see the entire playbook at work in this game. Throwing it, running it, and getting guys the ball out on the perimeter. Great job.
LSU with the 1st and 10 here. He wants to throw. Looking to the big tight end. It's caught downfield. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. They've moved to the 16. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a man. Bought a little time, lets it go. Caught near the sidelines. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to
just steamrolling the defense. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in. Touchdown LSU! And the route is on. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. They marched 79 yards on the drive, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
You've got to love what you're seeing if you're the head coach of this team, because your defense is simply not resting on their laurels, and they're playing until there's zeros on the clock. They've got a massive lead. We're late in the 4th quarter, and they're still getting sacks.
It's complete to the right. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
I'll tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands. You saw it on that last play.
Jackson will throw. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
I got to give this defense a lot of credit. They were very confident coming into this one, even though they were going up against one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. They're confident because they believe in their ability to get to him, and they've been able to do that in this game. There's another sack here late.
And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening, run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense that last drive, too, on that touchdown. Everybody on the same page. These guys have repped these plays over and over in practice and in games, and it's working.
Yeah, so I got to find a way to disrupt it. I got to find a way to maybe be more aggressive, maybe blitz, mess up this rhythm they got going.
Oh, that move is going to leave them dizzy.
If I'm building an offense in today's football, it's not around a quarterback that can't run. I'm going to find an athlete that I can give the ball because defensively, it starts to limit your coverages. It starts to limit what I can do. It makes me play the quarterback every single play. Just makes your job as a defensive coordinator extremely hard.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered to pick up the first. That last completion sets them up on second down. Quarterback now breaking the field. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it.
And it's so hard to be on the run and make an accurate throw. It's just very tough. Very few people can do it. Again, we see the freaks and we see the highlights all the time, but that's a tough thing to do. He made it look pretty easy.
And the Tigers are moving quickly down the field. Pressure coming. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Working the middle, it's complete. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the first down. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. From the red zone, looking for a space. The throw. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. Buys a little extra time. Keeps the play. The defense sort of hurts this quarterback out of bounds short of the line of scrimmage for a loss.
You got to keep chasing and keep defending. When you got scrambling QBs that get outside the pocket, you got to keep defending down the field, keep coverage on the wide receivers, and good job with pursuit drill, running them down, making them run out of bounds, and that counts in the record books for a sack. Give me one of those, please.
Touchdown, Tigers! And the beatdown has ensued. They push out that lead a bit and draw much closer to a win here in Week 9.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me or I should get conserved because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Michigan State is going all in. That offense has more options than they've had in East Lansing in some time. They're up 14 over Minnesota. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the detail.
And he's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been up to speed. His third interception. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. Fourth quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. With this big cushion they're working with, Jesse, they're ready to send these fans toward the exits.
And you know the coaching staff has got to be so happy with how this offense has been able to come out here on the road, fight the crowd noise, and execute at such a high level, Dave.
Yeah, just dominate the football game. And now, listen, it's mode where I can run the football, run out the clock, watch this game go to zeros and get the dub.
Does life get any better than this for an offense to start a drive with a 1st and goal? Wide receiver shows motion. Quick pass on the fly motion. And he's wrestled to the ground.
Really nice job by the quarterback. Hey, a lot of quarterbacks want to cover. They want to drop back. They're not really about that life. They don't want to be the tackling kind of guy. They're like, yeah, leave that to the linebackers. That dude committed, came up, and made a nice tackle.
A strong tackle and wrap-up from the junior.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they've built this lead. They've had a great day today.
Quick pass on the jet motion. Touchdown, Tigers! And the pummeling has started.
Points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
And they tacked on the extra point.
That makes the score LSU 63.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Number 32. Set to advance on the football.
The returner's going to try to see what he can get. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's in...
And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call.
And, man, is that just indictment of the day. Your quarterback getting drilled late in the football game. This offense has sputtered. They haven't found any kind of good rhythm. They haven't done things that really gives your coach confidence and makes you want to believe in them. This offense has a lot of work to do before their next football game. The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man. Doing everything great. Just, you can tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disrupted. They've been all over the field.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. He's looking downfield to throw. The heat got to him, and he just sort of froze and got tackled in the end zone for a safety.
And that kind of sums up the day for this offense. I mean, nothing has really gone your way. Now you give up the safety. Tell you what, this team's got a lot of work to do over this next week to get better, to improve. This was a bad day.
So after taking the safety, they'll line up for a free kick from their own 20. He's got it.
The return is tackled down at the 27. And the LSU offense will take over.
The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. What a feeling this has to be, David, in complete control and headed toward victory formation.
Yeah, no stress, under a couple minutes left in the ball game, well in hand. These are the ones, Jesse, you like to just run the clock, take a knee, whatever you want.
No doubt. They're going to love watching this game film, too. There's just so many positives to take away from this, and this is the kind of performance today that is really going to help this offense's confidence.
And those long shots, man, I tell you what, it takes a little bit longer to develop. So as a quarterback, you know you got to buy a little bit of time. Mad respect, man. Hanging in there, knowing he's going to get hit, but still making the big play down the field.
Unloads to the wideout. Complete downfield. Offense on the move. A big play there. Gets it to the 30.
You know, there are probably a lot of coaches out there with a lead like this that would like to run the ball and see if they could ice this game and bleed the clock. Not this coaching staff. They are going to be aggressive. They are going to continue taking shots.
They make the stop right there. Good pickup, but still short of the first down. Timeout is called, and the clock is down to 8.
Timeout, LSU.
Still some work to do after that last completion at second down. He's looking to throw. He'll try to do it himself. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains. No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in the next couple games, because this is always, there's a letdown that naturally happens after these big rivalry wins. We feel like our chest is poked out. We got to look on to the next game, focus in on this next one.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.